Hey, drama fans. Excuse me. So, this is part 7 of vegasbrit tearing down Tuna's codcast. And she admits in this one that she created an account pretending to be a 14-year-old and trying to justify it by doing research. Disgusting.
Welcome to another episode of Tanya's Talk, and thank you for listening.
Oh, hell exactly. Oh, hell no.
This episode comes with a trigger warning due to extremely sensitive research looking at what goes on behind the scenes of TikTok.
You serious?
No. What you mean is you have looked at Google and you're just quoting from the worst you can find.
Another
like
Google.
You have done with everything else in the past.
Google research.
Let's start with the TikTok algorithm.
Really?
When
Let's
we open
start.
your TikTok account, the algorithm will look at your data, such as age.
No, it doesn't.
And the algorithm will find what it thinks would be most suited to you.
No, it doesn't.
This should therefore deliver different content if I were 14 to if I was 40. I did in fact put this to the test by creating an account as a 14-year-old.
That's just wrong.
The first 2 or 3 videos were cooking videos.
So, she admits to make an account pretending to be 14. Doesn't that go against her terms and conditions, lying about your age? Why are you pretending to be 14 in any way?
And then the next one was about a fire that had broken out in London, followed by knife crime, and then a video about a trap house.
Yeah, that just goes to show what videos you're watching, Tuna. Vegas does actually explain the algorithm, so I'm not going to bother.
That's not how it works.
Because he explains it the way I would have.
Any of this works.
The first ad I received was for diazepam. Then every ad from there was an antidepressant ad.
Just goes to
As a
show what you've been
14-year-old
searching.
Girl, maybe I'd rather have seen funny content, hair, makeup, maybe even a bit of drama.
So dumb. You are really dumb.
She really is.
For real.
But the For You page was like a news page. I was able to create this account as a 14-year-old, as TikTok does not require any identification upon opening an account.
I'm gonna say what everyone else is thinking. Why a 14-year-old? Must be Nitty's influence. Anywhere.
I know.
Let's get into where you're lying about the TikTok algorithm, as you're totally wrong. It's a similar algorithm that YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram use. Social media, not just TikTok, use 3 main things to decide your For You feed: what you search and watch, who and what you interact with, and your device settings. So when you start an account on a social platform, the only things available for the algorithm to decide your FYP is your device, where you're located, and things you do on your phone. For example, when Vegas starts a new account, it always be football and joke pages that appear, and also
Same as me. Whenever I start a new account, all I get is drama. Leanne, Elphaba, Kevin, all of them. Because that's all I watch, for some reason. I know, it's a pretty sad life.
Especially news in Las Vegas and California. Don't believe me, viewers? Try it yourself. So with what your algorithm is suggesting when you create an account, it tells us things you're Googling and watching on your phone away from TikTok. Knife crime, depression, medication, a lot of that you have been referencing in previous podcasts. So just shows you're talking bullshit, again.
It does.
In December 2020, a 12-year-old girl filed a lawsuit against TikTok.
Oh, here she
The lie
goes.
detector determined that was a lie.
Reading articles wrong.
Tuna not reading an article properly. If she had, she would see that the girl was proposing to sue TikTok. The only thing that has been done in this potential case is a separate hearing which has allowed the girl to stay anonymous. So at this moment in time, there is no case. Nothing has been filed. So just like a previous podcast where Tuna was...
And this was December 2020.
Spreading
What is it with Tuna and reading old articles?
Information about trolling cases. Today's is much of the same.
Which is being brought under the General Data Protection Regulation and the UK's Data Protection Act 1998, calling for increased protection for children aged 16 and under.
She doesn't waffle on some bull.
What is that? Sheep, is it? It's cows? No, I know what it is. It's bullshit.
Misquoting law again. GDPR is the Data Protection Act. They are not separate, and what you're quoting has nothing to do with the 12-year-old but an EU and a UK case stemming from 2018 through 2020.
Yeah.
The only link between the two is the time frame and the type of leaked data. Both are only referring to specialized data. Simply put, that means race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, political affiliations, health, etc. It's nothing to do with bank details, addresses, telephone number. So again, another codcast with dangerous misinformation spread by a fish who cherry picks for her narrative and obviously doesn't research. If you ever end up in court, you will be humiliated by a lawyer.
Definitely. 100% would she. And another thing, I'm having to do these on TikTok because he sends me all these Vegas. And when I downloaded them, it was all glitchy, and I think there's something wrong with my phone, to be honest with you. I think it's time for an upgrade.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
The lawsuit is to include damages on behalf of millions of children in the UK. However, a spokesperson for TikTok disagreed and stated that they intend to defend the action.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Where'd you read that?
You have misquoted and completely changed the facts to fiction. It's not a lawsuit. It's a notice of intent. That is just a posh way of saying we are looking at fining you for breaking these set rules set under UK laws and acts. Rule A, B, C, D, for example. What TikTok have said, or they are going to respond formally as they disagree. Tuna has completely disregarded that Instagram got fined for breaking the same data laws against children and is only targeting TikTok. Again, Tuna really needs to read and understand what she is quoting.
The fact, can she even read? I know she says she went to law school, but I don't think she even got past the first year.
What has made me really laugh is her misquoting of GDPR, as there are people in the fields of NHS, police, teaching, financial, and insurance, just to name a few, that have to take a GDPR course every year to stay in their job. They all will agree Tuna is talking crab farts.
In Italy, TikTok were ordered to remove any users under the age of 13. With more than 1.6 million social media accounts owned by children using false ages, some came with catastrophic consequences.
Really?
If you don't like it, that's tough shit, you know?
So Tuna mentions Italy, but has decided to quote an incident in America, not Italy, as the reason why.
God.
So now making false news misinformation.
Just imagine as well, she's going to have vulnerable young people listening to this rubbish.
10-year-old sadly suffocated whilst doing the challenge with...
You didn't need to mention her name. There was no need.
I know.
You could just have said a 10-year-old female. You have just desecrated her by doing this and disrespected her family. You're just vile. And on top of that, you're using her incident, which happened in America, as though it's part of the Italy issue, which it's not. So you also false reporting on what happened.
Her cousin, who said they saw the game on TikTok and YouTube.
So not just to...
Look at the ones that did the Tide thingy challenge. The dish detergent thingies. Idiots were actually eating and swallowing them things. I mean, look at all the other things as well.
Then, maybe you really need to read the report and tell the truth, so that makes you what you're saying so morally wrong to the family and her memories. You really need to shut up, because you're going to upset a family member of an incident you quote one day.
Exactly.
The game took the lives of 82 minors when it first appeared in 2008.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Are you stupid or
I think
something?
she is.
So as you see, total lies and misinformation. A report in 2008 identified
The blackout challenge. That was a thing when I was a kid. I'm 37, 38 this year. And that was a thing when I was 13, 14 years old. So you're talking some years ago.
82 probable endings between 1995 and 2007, not 2008 as Tuna just lied about. Also in 2008, TikTok wasn't about. The social media thing was still young. Facebook, MySpace was still going strong, and people would use Microsoft and Yahoo Live to chat. Before Vegas even got to editing this section, he was talking about this challenge with official TikTok drama, as that challenge was about when they were school kids.
Yeah.
So even before 1990.
I was explaining to him that's what we used to do as kids. It was something to pass the time, because we were stupid. I mean, we didn't have these kind of smartphones, laptops, and touchscreen iPads and gaming consoles like that. I mean, we were lucky to get a Sega Mega Drive.
And there was very limited forms of social media in the late 90s.
Exactly.
Tuna, please learn to not read from Google. It pisses us off as it makes your mind Google. You then make up lies from the stories you read. But it's all total bullshit as we know your brain dead.
Parents sued TikTok and ByteDance. However, courts deemed they had immunity under the Communications Decency Act, which secures platforms from being liable for content published.
Exactly.
Would you please shut the hell up? What the f*** is wrong with you?
Here we go again. Tuna the lawyer misquoting law and legal cases. Tuna is quoting two different cases as though they are the same case. First case is only two parents who suing TikTok over a dangerous challenge. Yet both parents knew their underage per guideline children were using the app. Certain points were raised which scuppered any case, and also raises parental issues which are widespread. Firstly, they were trying to blame social media for a trend that had been around over 20 years. The second issue was that both children were of single-digit age, had cell phones with unrestricted and unsupervised use. Under US federal law, they are both lucky they didn't receive criminal negligence charges,
Exactly.
which are Category 3 felonies. As parents, we have a responsibility and duty of care. In the second case, which is completely different, it's against multiple different platforms, not just TikTok being sued. And if you look, it's mainly against Meta and its Instagram side of things, not Facebook. As you see here, last year alone, Instagram had almost 4.5 times lawsuits against it compared to TikTok, and 14 times more than YouTube, with teens used more than any other social media. And you state the Communication Decency Act, which is federal, but you didn't go read the act and how these social media companies use it as defense. So when you say you have done research, trigger warning, etc., it because you haven't researched, and you're just bullshitting as usual. Anyway, let's lighten things up and compare Nitty to Herbert the pervert.
All right, boys, the best targets are old rich people. Here's one now. Go get him.
Oh no, there's no police here to help me. I hope you don't find the money strapped to my thigh.
That's definitely Kevin.
Hey there, little fella.
I'm 48.
This whole place is a giant mind.
Mr. Herbert, I'm just here to collect for the newspaper.
Here you go. Oh, hang on now, Chris. Your fly's up again.
Thanks, Mr. Herbert.
Well, I hate to say it, but I guess we're supposed to dig this kid up. Any volunteers?
I dig kids.
They do, however, have a responsibility to protect users from what they see and recruit content moderators, also known as frontline soldiers.
That's how my brain feels right now.
Keeping us and our loved ones protected from the harm that can be seen on the internet.
But what's one person gonna do to deem fit it's good to be put online for others to see? I mean, that sounds like a dictatorship to me. What if they feel that something violent is okay to be uploaded for everyone to see, and you disagree with it? You know?
Trolling being as bad as it is, I didn't realise just how toxic it was behind the scenes of social media.
So dumb. You are really dumb.
Social media will always be
Really,
toxic.
anyone with a singular working brain cell would know that a content moderator isn't going to be sat all day watching cute and funny pet videos.
I know.
In fact, the word toxic isn't strong enough. Some may have seen a video that went viral where a man had himself in the head whilst live on social media.
I've not seen that video. A lot of people, I asked, haven't seen that video. Things like that have happened and been seen worldwide since the invention of live television. Let me give you some well-known examples, Miss Fish. Probably the most famous was John F. Kennedy's assassination. If you went to school, then you would have studied that. Plus, if you have the ability to remember, Lee Harvey Oswald also received the same treatment on live television nationwide. What about 9/11s? That was broadcast worldwide and had billions of people watching as you saw humans jumping out the Twin Towers. You incorrectly used the word toxic to describe those kinds of viral videos. The meaning of the word toxic, whether as a noun or adjective, is irrelevant, unless you're saying Tuna and Nitty's relationship is toxic,
Exactly.
or what comes out your mouth is toxic. Appropriate words to use in those situations would be vile, disturbing, dark, dangerous, distressing, frightening, difficult, upsetting, discomforting, troubling, unsettling, unpleasant, basically anything but the word toxic. Guess you failed English language at school.
Guessing so.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I remember seeing the video, but I don't think I comprehended it was real, which is why I most likely wasn't affected by it.
Or maybe you just show no signs of empathy.
Stupid idiot. Stupid idiot.
She's a bit of an idiot.
Stupid idiot!
That's just how trolls view people, as if they're not real. And this is just one instance of what could slip through and make it to millions of users' algorithms.
What you just said
It is pretty
is
dumb.
one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling...
Like, does she reread the script that she's writing and not think or feel, oh, this is a bit inappropriate, or I shouldn't really say that? Like, in her delusional mind, what she's saying, she thinks is correct and should be taken, like, as the truth.
Coherent response, were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought? Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you
I get
no
dumber
points,
every time I see them.
and may God have mercy on your soul.
This proves how much a liar you are. Videos like that get taken down pretty quickly. Obviously not before some people have managed to download or copy it. So by the time the word gets out, you have to go searching for it. And when you do get it, it's normally from a dark website,
Yeah.
not the original.
So that means that with Tuna watching a video like that, she's been on the dark web.
Parents were having
Only
their
other way.
children remove accounts in fear that they would see the video, as TikTok struggled to control the video going viral after being uploaded millions of times.
Why the fuck
I've never seen this video.
Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop.
It's not like TikTok would go one by one to delete each video. They would do it all in an instant.
Another dangerous lie by you. I hope one day a social media platform sues you for defamation, slander,
know.
and false information. The case you're quoting happened on Facebook, which I do remember. It went viral on all social platforms, not just TikTok. And the problem was that the Facebook and TikTok moderators could not keep up with the amount of reuploads, reposts, because like a computer virus, as soon as they got one, another 10 would appear until an IT expert could update the algorithm to help out the human elements. So another toxic bit of misinformation from your mouth. Yes, I used the word toxic correctly, unlike you.
So what exactly does being a content moderator entail? Moderating for certain creators can be toxic and draining, as well as a lot more that goes on between creators and some of their moderators.
What the hell is going on?
Okay, what the actual fuck? My AI is going to be as smart as a kettle if Tuna keeps saying dumb shit. A moderator for a creator is not a content moderator.
I
A
know.
social media manager or agent is not a moderator. Content moderators are directly employed by the company. I'm sure anyone who moderates for Nitty or yourself will find that draining. Muting several thousand accounts a day while having to tap and gift Nitty would even drain most stupid people. If brain-eating zombies only ate the brains of you, Nitty, and your moderators, then those zombies would die of starvation. Bob Geldof would have to do another Live Aid, or Dead Aid as it would be called. They would have to rewrite the lyrics to Do They Know It's Christmas, from Feed the World, to Feed the Undead. I can sense official tick-tick drama, laughing like a sausage at that burn. Tuna, my comment burned you so bad you're like a battered and grilled tuna.
She is
Platforms
absolutely
also have
dumb.
content moderators. Facebook was one of the first to be sued for negligence and had to pay $52 million in the case of Scholar versus Facebook and ordered to make significant workplace changes.
Why are you the way that you are?
Does she purposely go and look for articles like from years ago and then just completely rewrite what was written?
Congratulations. You have read off Google and Wikipedia but misquoted. If you actually read the articles properly, you would see it was an in-court settlement, but there's more to it than that. Firstly, those that were affected and part of the claim were entitled to a $1,000 payout. If they suffered any mental health diagnoses linked, they could claim up to $5,000 to cover medical expenses, as you have to pay. Also, Facebook has paved the way for how content moderators in all companies. Now, as a qualified private investigator in America, I can legally get the court dockets, which I did. Facebook agreed to have clinical support employed to help with moderators who have seen something triggering. But what bugs me most about this, and it's down to America's suing culture, when these people applied for the job, saw the job description, did they not think that they are going to see videos and read messages covering the most taboo, violent, adult material of an...
It would be stated in the contract what to be prepared to see. Because I've seen some disturbing posts on Facebook. I've even reported a few disturbing posts on Facebook. And obviously that's a human person that reviews it. So it would be stated in the contract.
Legal nature, common sense.
You slimy. Oh, moving. Uh-huh. Oh, $20. I wanted a peanut. $20 can buy many peanuts. Explain how. Money can be exchanged for goods and services. Woohoo!
Content moderators work 12-hour shifts with a 1-hour lunch and 2 15-minute breaks.
Oh my God!
Why is she explaining the breaks?
So, Tuna, did you look up America's labor laws? Know if moderators are getting 1 hour and 2 times 15-minute breaks, that is 2.5 times the minimum set in law, which is 20 minutes and paid break per 6 hours worked. In the continents of North America and Europe, if you work for an emergency service or in places such as hospitals, including local GPs and dentists are also included, as part of your contract is a waiver where you could work through breaks or over 12 hours. A prime example of where this happened was during the Global Bastard in 2011. Local doctors were working through the night and at hospitals to help out. Dentists were helping at hospitals in anesthesia and in maxillofacial. A lot of people didn't know that.
She's so stupid.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Candy Frazier, a woman who worked for TikTok, said she had to watch hundreds of videos per day, multiple at a time, and for a minimum of 25 seconds. Content moderators watch countless hours of videos containing cannibalism, animal and suicide.
Like I said earlier, what type of videos were they expecting to see?
I know.
The thing I agree with in all the lawsuits mentioned is the minimal safeguarding, mental health support in place, and the ability to take a few minutes if you got triggered by something you saw.
TikTok failed to protect the mental health of employees who have suffered psychological trauma and PTSD and are currently in the process of suing TikTok. Upon interview, these people were told that they would be the frontline defense protecting children from seeing pornographic content and violence. However, one lady said, "We would see death and graphic nude children every single day." She also said, "I would see people get face and kids getting beaten. Videos even included the of children."
I've never seen any of these videos on TikTok. Like, ever.
Well, she was told and warned yet still is complaining. That is an employee with no common sense. Like I said, you don't need to be smart to know what you're going to be viewing in that job.
This is a side of social media I have never considered. Regular people like you and me having to see hour upon hour.
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were having a state the obvious contest. I'm competitive by nature.
Well, you have just proved by that comment that your brain isn't working properly, that
Exactly.
you lack common sense. Your intelligence is just above the level of a crushed walnut, and you're nothing but a
filthy, dirty, disgusting, skanky, brutal, bottom-feeding
after day to make a living. Living in such a violent world, and those who are allowed to use social media want to bring more hate to the world, to vulnerable people, families, and children.
She is really stupid.
There it is. The point of this whole codcast episode. You have managed to get it back to your narrative of you and Nitty being trolled. Your narcissistic personality disorder strikes again. It's all about me.
It's exactly what she's doing.
Me. All those videos are nothing compared to what me and Nitty suffer.
But the government's new proposals definitely have my approval.
Don't need your approval. Excuse me. What an idiot.
You obviously haven't read the full bill, because if you have, it won't have the Tuna West seal of approval.
The online safety bill protects users from online trolling. However, critics say it kills free speech. And who would even be willing to hand over identification? And who exactly would we be handing it over to?
Are you stupid or something?
Ofcom would be responsible for
I reckon her and Kevin should just move to North Korea. Yeah. We should all chip in for a one-way ticket and send them to North Korea forever.
The online safety bill. But while the UK is not pushing for a complete ban on users remaining anonymous to protect freedom of speech, they will give users more control over who can contact them, hoping to also stop the hate served to them by rogue algorithms. So on mainstream platforms, trolls can keep their freedom of speech, but with potential limits on their freedom of reach.
What an idiot.
Although this cannot stop trolls posting, it can stop victims being exposed to it. And in order to maximise our freedom of reach under new proposals, we would have to provide identification. For anyone who is unwilling to verify themselves will become a second-class user.
Really?
Which other users will have the ability to block. I hope I've opened your mind for you to do your own research.
Oh, you've opened my mind. Like, you talk complete nonsense. And let's not forget the beginning where she openly admits to making an account where she pretends to be a 14-year-old. And probably still has that account. She might have logged out of it, but she wouldn't have deleted it.
The world that we're currently living in. The digital world that your children are growing up in.
Again, Tuna, you have cherry-picked the bill and quoted it incorrectly. The main part is protecting children and to verify a child's age so that child is protected. Also, it encourages and protects freedom of speech. So when people like vegasbrit, official TikTok drama, and a lot of the trolls do their funny videos, they get more protection. Covered by parody, satire, things like your lying codcast full of dangerous misinformation, and anything Nitty does will be much easier to get removed and banned. So the online safety bill gets the Vegas seal of approval. I suggest you find someone with working brain cells to read the bill in full and then deliver the bad news to you, while I sit here laughing my ass off.
Remember, you are strong, you are worth it. Lots of love from me to you.
What a complete and utter tool. Like, seriously, what is wrong with her? And Kevin? Kevin supports this. Both of them need locking up. Locking up and throwing... No, you know what? Locking up is no good. Like I said, send them to North Korea. Disown them and just send them there. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one.